In this video, I'll show you how a verb changes in each of the 4 present tenses: the present tense, the present continuous tense, the present perfect tense, and the present perfect continuous tense. These 4 verb tenses are used for present situations. I'll show you how the verb live changes in each of these 4 verb tenses. Use the present tense for things that happen every day. Here's the verb live in the present tense, singular and plural. I live, you live, he, she, it lives. There's an S here. And then we live, you live, they live. Use the helping verbs do or does with the simple form of the verb for negatives and questions. Do is used with I, you, and then plural forms. Does is used for he, she, or it. So does or doesn't live. There's no S here. Use the present tense for things you do every day. In this example, she lives there. Here's the verb in the present tense. It matches the subject. Here's the negative. She doesn't live there. So here's the contraction, does and not. And this verb is the simple form. For the question, the helping verb goes first, and then the subject, and then the main verb goes here. And this is also the simple form of the verb. Does she live there? She lives there. She doesn't live there. This is negative. Does she live there? This is a question. For the present continuous tense, activity is happening now or in your life, or you can use the present continuous tense for the future. Here's the verb live in the present continuous tense, singular and plural. I am living. You are living. He, she, it is living. We are, you are, they are living. Notice the helping verb is the verb be. It changes according to the subject. To make the present continuous tense, use the verb be, which changes depending on the subject, and then the main verb and ing. The main verb is in the simple form here, but if you want to think of it as the present participle, just use this form. That's okay. Here's a statement. She is living there. So here's the verb be, and then here's the main verb with the ing ending. She is living there. For the negative, add not to is. This is a contraction for not. She isn't living there. And for a question, put the verb be first. This is the helping verb, and then the subject, and then the main verb. Is she living there? use the present perfect tense for some time that begins in the past and is still true now. This is the past and this is now. The present perfect tense is between these two places in time. Here's the verb live in the present perfect tense, singular and plural. I have lived, you have lived, he, she, it has lived. We have, you have, they have lived. Use the verb have. It'll be have or has. And then the main verb here is the past participle that's taken from here. Here's the past participle. The past participle is the main verb. She has lived there. For the negative, add not to has. This is a contraction. She hasn't lived there. And to make a question, put the helping verb first and then the main verb. Make sure there's a question mark here. Has she lived there? For the present perfect continuous tense, use the verb have or has, depending on the subject, and then you always use been, and then the main verb is in the continuous form. So the simple form goes here. In this case, if it's living, has been living, or you can think of it as the present participle. But however you think of it, this is the main verb, and this is the present perfect continuous tense. Here's the verb live in the present perfect continuous tense, singular and plural. I have been living. You have been living. He, she, it has been living. We have been, you have been, they have been living. So the helping verbs in this case are the verb have, which changes according to the subject. Pay attention to a man, a woman, or a thing. Use has. And then you always use been. And the main verb here has an ing ending. She has been living there. She hasn't been living there. This is the negative contracted with has, and this is the word not. And in this question, has she been living there? Here's the helping verb, subject, and then been living there. Use the present perfect continuous tense for a time that starts in the past and continues up to the present. She has been living there, and it's still true now. Which of these four verb tenses is the most difficult for you? Submit your response in the comment section below.